Oh, honey, I am so not threatened by you. My man wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. You're just mad because I have a Chad. And last time I checked, you don't have a man. So, looks like you're the one that's panini pressed. Call a spade, honey. Keep making content.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Well, although Gypsy is now considering herself an antidepressant girly after she announced that she was taking charge of her mental health and is totally stable now, I guess that didn't really prevent her latest crash out after somebody took a picture of her while she was out and about at Costco in a not so flattering light, I guess you could say, but Gypsy is absolutely losing it. She ended up going on live for over an hour talking about how taking pictures of somebody when they're not paying attention is wrong, and if this fan wanted a photo, they could have just asked her, all of this stuff, and how she would never ever make fun of somebody's looks or their body. That is just below the belt, and she almost thinks it's the same thing as racism. And of course, knowing Gypsy, she really can't do this alone, so she had to invite all of her friends and backup buddies to join her in the live to kind of really push home the fact that Gypsy would never do that. And it's so absolutely disturbing that women especially are body shaming Gypsy when Gypsy has never bullied or body shamed anybody else that she could think of, at least. We're gonna go through and check out what Gypsy has been saying recently on her TikTok lives and a couple of other things that I found interesting unrelated to this whole photo situation. Because let's face it, nobody really cares what Gypsy looks like in person or online. It's really not that important, but since she's making it a big deal, we're gonna go ahead and talk about it. But before we do, make sure you like and hit the subscribe button so you can keep up to date with everything I've got coming out of my channel. I also want to give Mellow Yellow 2022 a shout out for gifting me with a super thanks on my last video. I appreciate that so much. But let's go ahead and get into this video on Gypsy Rose Blanchard. So I'm not anybody to shame somebody going and seeking mental health treatment or anything like that. I think it's great. But I feel like Gypsy bringing it up online is another way where she's trying to be cute and quirky and antidepressant girly. Is such a weird way to say that, and it makes me think she's not really taking her mental health seriously and is just wanting to do it to be a part of some group or subset of, oh, now I'm gonna finally embrace the mental illness type of depression and stuff like that, and it's not a serious conversation. But that might just be me. I mean, personally, I'm not somebody that would ever be like, oh my god, I'm taking my meds, you know. But, you know, whatever. Some people are like that. I don't get it. But she did post a video about how she is on a new mental health medication, and I feel like the way that she is talking about it is just so weird to me.
Okay, where are all my antidepressant girlies? So I have been on Wellbutrin for the last month, and so far it's been going really good. Haven't had any negative side effects or anything like that. But like when I first started taking it, I felt like a huge burst of energy. I would get up at like 6 a.m., clean the house, had a lot of energy throughout the day. And now that I have been on it for, the month, it's in my system now, and now I've kind of seen a decline in that like energy. So, but overall, like, it's been a great mood stabilizer. It is a stimulant, which is different than other antidepressants. It works on your dopamine receptors. So overall, it has been a positive experience for me. So I just wanted to know, if y'all take Wellbutrin, let me know in the comments how it worked out for you guys. So, all right, thanks. Love you guys. Bye. Okay, so I just wanted to make an edit to my last video because I don't want to give anybody any incorrect information. So what I meant by Wellbutrin is a stimulant. It has stimulant side effects. It's not actually classified as a stimulant. So just to clarify, there you go. I don't want anybody coming for me in the comment section, and I certainly don't want to give anybody any misinformation. So, all right, I corrected. Bye.
Shout out to Haiti Joyless for capturing the entire live, because God knows I do not have time to do that and sit and watch every single live. And not only that, but Gypsy blocked me. So it's a little bit difficult to catch any of her lives as they happen. But thank you, Haiti, for capturing this. We're going to be cutting through some of these parts and then discussing it.
About bodies. If we're talking bodies. I love this song. Okay? Let me make a point to you. Bodies, okay, and bellies that look like, okay, this, okay. I'm no size 2. I'm not flat, okay. Fold it a little. Okay. See my feeding tube scar? Okay, is this at all Photoshop? Now if I do this, which is what I was doing in the picture, yeah. Everybody get a good look at my belly? Yeah, it's not flat. No, I had a baby. Yeah. They're in your pictures. So when you're doing pictures, put your leg out like that, okay? Arch your back a little bit, okay? And then you take your picture. Always take it from above because it'll make your chin and everything look thinner, okay? Okay, so can we all just stop with the bullying, okay? I don't alter my pictures. I know my angles. There's a difference. Now, can we just stop being so cruel to each other? Okay? Let that sink in for a second.
I feel like it's very annoying that she's talking to everybody like none of us have any clue how the internet works, how people get a good photo, how people get, good angles. Like, everybody knows how it works. Duh. Like, especially as women, we like to look good for a photo, because why would we post a photo that we don't? Everyone understands that. Everyone gets that. The issue, though, the only reason it's being brought up is because she's making it this big deal. I don't know why it's such a huge deal to her, but it is. I mean, I guess, yeah, nobody would like a random photo taken of them, but, eventually this would have been something that's like a nothing. Like, nothing compared to what's out there about her, and people would have eventually forgot. She could have just easily let it run its course within the 3 days, but no, this is being made way bigger than what it ever needed to be. And it's because she just can't handle it. She can't handle people seeing her for who she really is. Part of doing that is saying, yeah, I look like both. Yeah, catch me on a random Tuesday, that's what I'm gonna look like. Type of whatever attitude. It's like, how dare you do this to me? How dare you catch me off guard? Or say I don't look exactly like this photo when I was just bragging about how I looked.
I was talking about how I had watched this TED Talk, and it was like on our tablets in prison. We could watch all these like little TED Talk videos and everything, because they had like a podcast app and all kinds of cool stuff. Thank you, Alyssa. And there was this one Victoria's Secret model that she was talking about how she had a picture that she had taken with her family one week, and then she was on the cover of Vogue the next week, and they looked so different because of the makeup and the lighting and the angles. And she's like, I'm not even that thin. She's like, I took this picture this week, and then this picture I had taken the week before or whatever for Vogue. And she's like, I don't even look that thin. It's about lighting. It's about angles. It's about knowing your body. And I was just telling everybody because, obviously that picture is just being spread everywhere. And it's not like it was a bad looking dress. Like, it was
no one should be commenting on a woman's body anyway. Like, no one should be doing that. Like, I just think it's really disgusting. And I think that nobody knows how it feels to have to never be able to be vulnerable. Like, just be like relaxed and vulnerable. Like lucky for these people that are saying this stuff about you, they don't know how it feels to never have to worry about to always have to worry about somebody taking a picture of you. You can't ever just relax for a second without worrying about somebody taking a picture of you. Like, no one knows what that feels like. Not a lot of people anyway. And I wish people would realize that, because it's not okay to do that to somebody.
Yeah.
I think it's disgusting, but
I think it's absolutely low hanging fruit and pathetic to speak on another woman's body, period. I don't care what the point is. I don't care what your excuse is. It's just bullshit.
And she's again taking this as a moment to be like, oh, bullying is bad. Nope. Okay. yeah, some people are talking about her body. I mean, I know myself as a content creator, I literally never bring up anything about her looks. I don't bring up anything about her body. And that goes for any of them. Any person that I don't like, I'm not going to do that. But later on in the live, Gypsy talks about how she doesn't do that either, but we've literally seen her do that. So it's like she does the exact same things that she's criticizing other people for doing. Doesn't make sense. I think it's funny that she immediately goes to Victoria's Secret model. That's her first thing in her mind is like, yeah, I have bad days too, just like Victoria's Secret models. You know, it's just, that's the thing I think that rubs people wrong a lot of the times. And, you know, she's like, Victoria's Secret models are the epitome of beauty, so even they have bad days too, just like me. That's basically what she's getting at. And it's just, it just doesn't come across, I think, the way that she's intending it to. It doesn't come off as like, you know, genuine, like feeling body positivity. No, it's like, how dare you shame me? Victoria's Secret models aren't perfect either, you know, type of thing, if that makes sense.
It's low hanging fruit. Find some other content, people.
And that's exactly what Ken said too. He's like, it amazes me how this picture is just like the talk of the town right now. And I'm like, I agree. Like, why are we even talking about this? And they're like, well, it's because, you know, you posted a picture where you look thin one week, but then this picture shows, you know, you've got bulges. Okay, I never said I was flat stomached.
I could literally do that within a 24-hour period because of my heart failure. My body gets so freaking overloaded. I could walk outside right now and people think I'm 6 months pregnant. But yesterday, I didn't look like that. You know what I mean? I just think it's bullshit. It's low-hanging fruit. There's no reason people need to be discussing another woman's body, period. Period.
Yeah.
I think your sister said it best when she did that video because of people making, you know, her picture. They felt like she photoshopped it. She showed she's like bodies that look like this also look like this.
Yeah. Agreed. And I mean, like, you have had your fair share of people talking about yours, and I feel like that's nobody's business. Like that has nothing to do with, you know, whether you like somebody or not. Your points of whether, you know, you like this person. If you dislike this person for X, Y, and Z reason, okay, you say you don't like their personality, but their body has nothing to do with it.
People don't want. They always say like, you're not famous, you're anything. Then why are people taking pictures of you in public? Like, if like you can only be as normal as people allow you to be. You can only be as, you know, like that. That's really what's really important for people to see. Like, everybody gets so mad at you, but like you never followed yourself. I mean, people chose to follow you. People choose to take pictures of you. People choose to speak about you every single day.
I think that it is like you said, low hanging fruit. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I'm halfway tempted to tell everybody that is like, well, your photo was photoshopped or whatever in that cheerleader costume. Okay, well, how about I triple dog dare you to go buy that same costume and put it on and post it?
Yeah,
exactly.
I feel like perhaps Gypsy was just literally waiting for a moment just like this so she could again emulate Mia. If you guys remember, Mia had posted photos of her, I don't know where she was at, but she was in her swimsuit and people thought it was edited or photoshopped, but she ended up posting a follow-up video basically saying the exact same thing, and a body that looks like this also looks like this on any given day, basically giving her whole spiel about, you know, body positivity and acceptance, and not everybody's perfect, which, you know, at this point in time, I think we all can realize that. But, you know, I feel like Gypsy was just waiting for this moment because we've seen how she is. We see how she just somehow, coincidentally, always posts the exact same thing as Mia, like a week later or a couple weeks later, or even a month later, and you can just literally go back and track and compare. So, yeah, no, it's no wonder that she's making this huge ordeal about this photo because she wants to, you know, do the same thing as Mia did, which is typical Gypsy.
Different angles.
Well, it's kind of flattering that they think it was Photoshopped. That means you looked that good.
I'm like, damn.
Look, we went to Tana and you had that black outfit on. You could see your figure. You're tiny as hell. It's just not cool to make fun of women for things that they can't help like that. You know what I mean? We're all women. It just, I don't know. It's just not cool.
Well, I thought it was weird because I saw somebody make a post. She makes a lot of posts all the time, and somebody was like, and tell me why. So they're like, this is just the funniest picture ever. And I'm like, what's funny about it? And like, she looks like, first they said you look like a mad kid, and then they said you're your one of your say your chest, I don't know if I can say it on here, looks double, like 2 times bigger than the other side. I'm like, first of all, no, it doesn't. Second of all, she's at an angle. Do you know how like perspective works? Like, like if you're standing from this side, like as you go back, like it's gonna look smaller, like bigger to smaller. That's like the view, Like, did you not learn that in school? Like, I don't like obviously like the for one that's further away, it's gonna look smaller than the one closer up. I'm like, are y'all really picking apart her body like that? It's
I
weird
don't
as
know.
fuck.
Yeah, because Gypsy, you have an awesome body. Like
I don't think that I have an awesome body, but I will say, like, I feel good in my skin. For the first time in my life, I actually feel good in my own skin. Where I'm like, I don't think that there's anything on my body that I would change. Like when I went into prison, I was like 95 pounds or so. Okay. Then I started gaining weight because I started getting healthier, eating real food, getting more nutrition in my body. And so I started gaining, and like last week, I weighed me, I was 112. So, I mean, for my height and my body structure, that's a normal, healthy weight to be.
yeah, and you're
They don't let these people like make you feel insecure about your body. Like, don't let them do that to you.
No, I mean, I don't, like, it doesn't make me feel insecure. It makes me feel like, what the heck is wrong with the world that, other women are doing this to other women. It would be one thing if it was a guy that we could shrug it off and be like, ugh, he's just a douche. But
and that's another thing with women. Like that's like the number one thing to like say to someone to physically hurt them, like to a woman especially, like commenting on their bodies and stuff. Like we already kind of get in that body shaming of ourselves, and then to just have people sit there and continue to tell you what you probably already know about yourself is like, why? Like, what's the point? Why can't you just be a nice freaking human being and talk about your own issues that you probably already have instead of putting it on someone else?
Yeah.
I can't imagine going after somebody's weight as a dopamine hit for myself. That's fucking foul.
Yeah, that's just wild.
So it's interesting how making fun or talking about the way that somebody looks is considered terrible, low-hanging fruit. There's no excuses for that, but I guess there are excuses for murdering your mom. That's not disgusting. There are excuses for that. But oh God, draw the line when it comes to commenting on somebody's looks. But ending the life of somebody or manipulating somebody into doing it that doesn't have the same abilities as you do, who's intellectually delayed or disabled, that's not wrong. There are excuses for that. That's where you're really drawing the line at commenting on somebody's looks, but not at murder. That's disgusting. That's despicable. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. That is like such a backwards view of things, Like, yeah, maybe they said something that they shouldn't have or whatever that could be considered not nice, and Gypsy herself has done the same thing, made fun of people's bodies, made fun of their looks, even their race. Be easier to forgive that than someone who plotted a murder for multiple years and then is not sorry for it and won't admit what they did in it. But I guess that's just the difference, right?
Like-minded individuals like us, that's like, okay, if you don't like somebody, hate on their personality, I guess. Say that they could be ignorant, they could be disrespectful, but don't hit below the belt and go to looks. That, to me, going to looks and criticizing someone's looks is just as bad as like throwing their race into it. The color of your skin does not matter. It is your personality that matters. Just like it doesn't matter someone's weight. It is the personality.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the biggest shames you can do to someone is talk about their weight.
Not a lot of people would be able to take
I
it.
don't think of anything that I don't think I've ever criticized. I mean, I'm sure sometime in my life I've criticized somebody's body. And
Yeah, I mean, we're not perfect.
We're not perfect. I'm sure everybody's done it, but it is kind of like you grow up. You grow up and you realize that's not okay.
Gypsy brings up the whole race argument that she feels that commenting on somebody's looks or their body is pretty much the same thing as bringing up somebody's race, which I disagree because I feel like, yeah, they are characteristics of somebody, but race specifically has a very, very deep-rooted history, especially for certain races. There's a very long line of torment and hatred and stuff like that goes along specifically with somebody's race. And, I would maybe compare it to height or something as far as, body makeup or the way that you look. But comparing it to race, I feel like it's not the same thing whatsoever. I feel like it just doesn't sit well with me that she's doing that. Yeah, I get what her overall point is and that it does matter what your personality is, but in that particular instance, with that particular subject matter, I feel like there are two totally different things. I guess, announcing to the entire world and speaking with a magazine reporter about how previous husband Ryan Anderson was terrible in the bedroom is not hitting below the belt whatsoever. And funny thing, she also kind of picked at Ryan for his weight too. I mean, publicly and even, privately from what we've seen in the emails, his weight was a huge deal. And if it's all about personality, then why was she so hardcore about how Ryan wasn't good enough to be with somebody like her? He's just not attractive enough, blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, like I said, announcing to everybody that he sucked in bed, he couldn't do anything right, basically that she was unhappy, she called him abusive. That's not hitting below the belt either, is it? I guess that's just stabbing somebody in the back. Which, I guess with Gypsy are two very different things, but are they really? Don't know.
It goes back to what Bree said, like, you didn't ask for this. They're the ones that continue to take your photo, and they're the ones that continue to keep talking about you, so you're only as famous as they make you famous,
Yeah, not for it.
They want to bitch that I'm on the internet, but then you steady keep making videos about me. Hell, I would have stayed offline when I decided I was going to shut down all my social media. I was going to stay offline, but then everybody still kept talking about me. So I'm like, I'm just going to come back and I'm going to do my thing.
Yep.
And I mean, it is what it is.
It's so weird. It's like they're baiting you.
Yes, it is bait. It is 100% bait, because it's like they will say things like, people will say the most cruelest things, like, that baby's ugly, or that baby isn't real, and it's all bait. And I'm like, that's disgusting.
They want to see you prove to them. And let me tell y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, Gypsy don't have to tell y'all. She might come on here and she's like, you know what, I'm not Photoshop, I'm not doing this. She might prove that she will never prove anything to y'all when it comes to her baby.
No.
Like, that's a whole different story. Like, she's so protective of that baby, so y'all can come and hang it up.
You just don't want to give me a compliment. How about you just say that? I don't like you. I think you're a POS. And I don't want to give you a compliment. Instead of making all this other stuff up, just say, I don't want to give you a compliment.
Or just don't say anything. Just move on with
Just
your
don't
life.
say anything. Exactly.
Hang it up.
I just get clear. I was not chastising me. She was not being rude.
So Gypsy can't think of a time where she's really hit below the belt. But, let's just take a look at some of the times that Gypsy has actually hit below the belt just for funsies, just so we can remember. Oh, here it is. Here's an image that one of her buddies made of Nina. Clearly, this is a profile that is not very flattering of a black person who, Gypsy says making fun of their looks and their race is just totally wrong, which here she's pretty much doing both. Gypsy's talking about, we'll run Nina out of the beauty industry. And this is not the only time that race has really been brought up in Gypsy's friend group and with Gypsy herself.
This is kind of like a little history of how the cyberbullying and even worse things like racism, Gypsy has condoned. This is Gypsy. You have to see at the top. She is with Bree. She is condoning Bree. She is promoting Bree. So this is your mommy vlogger, your influencer. Now, you guys know here is Gypsy following this account that was supposed to be a parody of Nina. Obviously, this is a blackface. This is racist. There's no. Here's another one that you probably haven't seen. This person is another one of Gypsy's in her inner circle. Her name's Boston. I know Toddy knows about her. Here is Gypsy following Boston. You can see that here. And here's a screenshot of Nina. And what Boston says is, quote, aren't they supposed to have rhythm? Asking for a friend. It's pretty bad. Then down here, they're talking about Morbid, another racist comment. Dreamer, tell him to take the egg roll out of his ass.
You got to be kidding me.
No, and just
Yeah,
FYI,
I'm totally unaware of any of this stuff.
FYI, Mitch is Japanese.
Yeah.
So we don't like this. This isn't, even if he wasn't Japanese, obviously, but it hits closer to home because Mitch is Asian also,
You for saying that. No. I still think you're a racist piece of No.
I did lose my teaching job at the end of the school year. I did lose it. It had to do with what Gypsy announced to the world, what she was apologizing for.
I put out personal information of yours that I knew that you didn't want out there.
And you're spiraling out of control. So just remember, just as much dirt as you have on me, I have on you, honey. You punch at me, I punch like 10 times harder. go see a therapist.
And let's not forget this guy who literally is paid $20 to make fun of people. And I'm sure that we all remember that this guy was showing up on Gypsy's profile whenever it got hacked. And she was either DMing him or something, but here she finds it so funny that he's making a video about Nina. That's crazy. There are easily 100 more examples. This is not any new behavior, so it's kind of mind-boggling to me that Gypsy can't remember just a few months ago. I mean, has she got an issue with her memory or something? Like, what's going on there? You can't remember that you were just hitting below the belt like 2 months ago, last month, a few weeks ago? That's crazy. Maybe you should get that checked out. So later on in the live, they start talking about Gypsy's house and moving and paying all that stuff. I don't really care. If you want to watch that, go check out Hades' video where you can watch the entire live. It's not really important, but something that was really weird to me is that at the end of that live, they literally start talking about witchcraft and voodoo dolls. And again, this is somebody that's Gypsy's friend after Gypsy is going to church and claiming Christianity and, you know, really just going to church is really hitting home close to her, the service, and God bless you, posting it on her story, and yet they're literally sitting there talking about voodoo dolls. That's funny. And there's always been rumors and like things circling around with that group that they have like little books that they write people's name in, like content creators, where they're gonna do like spells and witchcraft on them and all this stuff, but yet Gypsy's here talking about, oh, God bless you, you know, may the Lord save your soul type of stuff. But, you know, personally, I'm somebody that if you believe something, then you believe it, and you gotta believe it entirely. She's totally cool and fine and dandy with talking about voodoo dolls, which I'm sure they probably got these for a different reason. If the little rumors about their group is true, they probably got it to torture some random content creator or put a curse on them or something, but I think it's really weird. And another point in the live, Gypsy starts talking about Rogie, and I don't know why, but I feel like, I don't know how Ken doesn't have a problem with it, knowing how crazy Gypsy is and how jealous that she gets. Why is Gypsy allowed to be good friends with Rogie? Why is she allowed to hang out with him alone and have him at the house and do all this stuff together? It doesn't seem like it's just that much of a friendship. He seems overly friendly with Gypsy or too defensive of Gypsy for somebody to be, I think both of them are in relationships, so I mean, I think that's a little weird. I don't know why Ken's okay with that. Maybe he just doesn't care, but it would be weird for, I think, anybody else. But on another note, a creator named Audrey, I know I've mentioned her a couple of times in my last few videos. She is a content creator over on TikTok. She has a bigger platform, and she posted a video about how people had been reaching out to her that knew Gypsy Rose Blanchard when she was younger. One of them said that they went to Gypsy's birthday party at Burger King, and another one shared a photo with her when Gypsy was the flower girl in a wedding. And I think this is important. It just shows you that, again, this person is saying they knew that Gypsy was a sick child. And anybody that knows children, when they're playing sick or pretending to be sick, like, you can't make them pretend for long. There's just no way you're going to make a child act sick 24/7. No kid is that good of an actor, especially when they want to do something else. So this person is, again, confirming that Gypsy was actually sick as a child and Gypsy actually really did struggle. So let's watch this video, and again, focusing on more important things and not just the nonsense that Gypsy posts about, you know, body positivity or whatever. This is, again, showing that Gypsy's history is not true. Everything that she said is not true. She was a sick kid.
Another person from Gypsy Rose's past has reached out to me, and y'all, I have a photo from their private collection. And a lot of us have seen this photo that Ashley Baby shared. And a lot of us have seen this photo, which 2020 shared. And whenever I first got the photo, I thought it was from this event, but I quickly noticed the dress is different and Gypsy is in a wheelchair in this photo. This is the photo that was privately shared with me. And what we have here is a young Gypsy Rose as a flower girl. This was from a wedding that took place in February of 1998 at PJ's in Golden Meadow, Louisiana. Now, the connection that this person has that shared this photo, I will keep private. However, they did say that Gypsy was a legit sick kid, but she also was a mean little liar. They also said that Dee Dee was a little messed up in the head, but adored Gypsy and was so proud of everything that Gypsy did. As these conversations go on behind the scenes, I will share with y'all what I am allowed to share with y'all. But I do want to remind y'all that this is a small knit community of people. So the information that they do share does put them at risk of backlash. With that said, keep in mind, I'm not going to be able to share something every single day. And again, the information may be limited.
Personally, I don't think that Gypsy's crash out over this photo that was posted by some stranger in Costco is really worth the effort that she's putting into it. I don't think that, her whole anti-bullying thing that she's going off of it's never going to hit home when it's coming from Gypsy, because we've seen how she acts, we've seen her behavior. It doesn't matter who you are or who she's close to. She's dragged Rod, Mia, Ryan, Ken even. Literally doesn't matter. Clap back at every single haters. Put her little friend group and attacked people by proxy. So when it comes to her, it's the end of the world. And then not only that, she's literally still doing the same thing. They're still going after random people on the internet. Take, for example, Karma Collector, who is a guy that doesn't believe that Gypsy's baby even exists. But now they're all ganging up on him. I don't know anything about the dude. I don't watch a lot of his stuff. But he is very much somebody that doesn't believe that Gypsy's baby exists. So now they're believing that Gypsy's baby is at risk of being harmed by this guy who believes that there's not a baby. So I don't know how you could literally be afraid of a guy harming your baby when he doesn't believe that there's even a baby. What's there to harm in his mind? You know what I mean? But again, Gypsy made a video making fun of him. She even took out her teeth for it to make fun of the guy, calling him crazy, and now they're all ganging up on him, saying he needs to be banned and that he's a danger to society. But yet, she doesn't hit below the belt. She doesn't do any of these things. They're calling him all kinds of names. And again, I'm not even sitting here and defending the guy because I don't know him. I don't know what he does or what he posts or anything like that. I've not dug into him, but it's the same thing. It's the same type of behaviors. And even though if it's not Gypsy herself doing it, she's joining right along with it. And the only reason they're doing it is on behalf of Gypsy. So how does that even make any sense? But I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Gypsy crashing out over the photo? Do you think it's because she's insecure about it and she just didn't want people to see her like that? Or do you think it's her disappointment in society, specifically women? What do you think it is? What do you think about all of it? Drop your thoughts down below in the comments. Don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button so you can keep up to date with everything I've got coming out on my channel. And again, thank you for any super thanks or gifts that you guys have given me on my last videos. I appreciate all of you guys. I will see you on the next one. Bye.